tell us if you know who the voice actor for Snakebite Scruggs was.
Without looking it up.
Yes. Go now, shit's going to get real. I've seen enough horror movies. You don't want to go to a second location with anybody, especially not with a beautiful girl. Real zombies is like, okay, fine, they're real for the first time. That kind of annoys me. Because what is more scary than people, like white people coming at you out of the swamp? Alright, Earthlings, and welcome back to the Thundering Dice channel with your boys, the Thundering Dice Brothers. And today we're going to be talking about a story that made us, or a story within the stories that made us, that is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. So normally I'm a traditionalist when it comes to Scooby-Doo. I like my Scooby-Doo to be unmasking villains every single time. The bad guys are in fact people, there are no ghosts. God is dead, etc.
I apologize for nothing.
Unfortunately, in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, in quite the antithesis to my normal preferences, my normal cynical preferences, the zombies are real, cat creatures are real, and demon-type things are real, and actually they have a cool subversion of your expectations. So you ask, why would we choose the movie that I'm already telling you I wouldn't like from the beginning as the best of Scooby-Doo? Well, it's simple. It just is the best. It has the best colors, the best animation, the best acting, the best music, a fantastic story where you subvert some expectations, where you go on a journey with these characters that you know and love, and the first time they ever see a real monster. So, for those reasons and many more, we think it is the best of the Scooby-Doo universe, and then my rant is now over. So, Ian, please take over.
Well, a little bookkeeping first. Technically, it's not the first that's real monsters, because there are 4 other movies that precede.
Those are so weird, though.
I mean, come on, Ghoul School and Scooby-Doo and the Werewolf.
Daphne and Fred and Velma are not involved. This is like a weird Mad Fever dream. Like, the animators even forgot what color shirt Shaggy wears.
Just decided to go red.
So, I don't know if I can count those weird ones. We might have to do a whole video just on those ones, those 4 asides.
Yes.
But for my money, they're like, I don't know, they're like legends.
Yeah. Yes, okay, the first 4 Scooby-Doo movies are legends, minus Boo Brothers, because I'll consider that canon, because I really like Boo Brothers. But going back to Zombie Island, okay, let's consider that like the first real major Scooby-Doo film where they got everything right and included the supernatural element. Though, I mean, one thing I will say though, like, the unfortunate thing about the movies, and this has nothing to do with Zombie Island in particular, guys, sorry, but like, the movies, all of them have real magic in them. There isn't like an actual movie where you can just sort of chill out and that doesn't have some sort of supernatural flavor. They always spice it up this way these days. And that is a sort of like sad thing, because what Zombie Island started, Return to Zombie Island destroyed.
Oh.
So, like, I mean, like, okay, real Zombie Island, yeah, as my brother said, is really good. Like, the colors, it's one of, like, it's one of the things I really like. As a painter myself, I love landscape, like, I mean, old school, like, drawings and landscape paintings, especially in, like, 90s animation style. Warner Brothers does really, really cool things. So you have amazing sunsets on you know, like great fields that are like right about to get harvested. Like, you know, the bayou scene is creepy but interesting at the same time.
All the colors of the sunsets going down, the panoramics of the manor house,
the
fields.
Like the first shot over the bridge when you first see the manor house is spectacular, because
the
it gets
opening
unveiled.
montage of the entire thing where they're in different
in the castle.
Yeah, that is so cool, because it's so old school, but it's so fluid and new and crisp, and
and you don't know it's getting filmed until the very end when you see it on camera, and Daphne's is like, and that's how we solved the case of the moat monster, and you're just like, whoa, what is going on? And then suddenly Scooby and Shaggy are working airport security, and Velma is in a bookshop. I mean, you're really left like, whoa, something's actually happened. Like, you feel it's the first time, and one of the few, actually, it's probably the only time that I can think of at this moment, where time passes in Coolsville.
Fuck.
That's true. Yeah, they've moved on. They're not in high school anymore. All of a sudden, they'll have careers. Daphne and Fred are doing some kind of a documentary thing together. You know, yeah, like you said, Shaggy and Scooby are stuffing themselves full of contraband at TSA agents. You know, I hope they're not still rocking that job these days. Ha ha! Say hello, Ice.
Right.
Yeah. And Velma is in like I like how Velma ends up in a bookshop and not a science lab. Like that I actually really do appreciate.
Yeah.
Because it's like, while she is really smart in the original show, she's never stupidly like scientifically book smart.
Like they end up putting in some of the other movies.
Like in the movies, she's like, oh, I've been working with NASA, helping to produce like high something propulsion shit. And Fred's just like, oh yeah, and I created a book, Fred on Fred, The Many Faces of Me, which is perfect and a lot more appropriate for Fred. So like, I'm glad that they made Velma a little more normal. But then, like the whole like gang, comes together because they're doing a new Daphne and Fred are doing a new segment and they want to find real haunted houses and shit like that. And that's great, because like real haunted houses, especially if you're looking at the expectation of Scooby-Doo, like, oh, real haunted houses? Well, that's an interesting avenue. I kind of wonder where you're gonna go. And
you assume it's gonna be like every other Scooby-Doo movie
and it is
ever.
with the first montage because like every time the ghost is a sham, like they're always pulling.
Speaking of the music, we'll link that somewhere.
Yeah,
look for it.
Yeah, we definitely will. So then they go all over the country. They're trying to find real places. Nothing ever finds out, and then they find themselves in Louisiana in a beautiful fucking market that you yourself want to go to. I mean, it's an open air market.
There.
It looks.
I want a po' boy there. Holy cow! I want to do my grocery shopping there.
Yeah, like seriously, it looks so nice and like wholesome and friendly and
so then they get enticed by the beautiful Lena.
Yep.
To a real haunted house out in the bayou, out in the middle of nowhere, and then you're like, oh, now shit's going to get real. I've seen enough horror movies. You don't want to go to a second location with anybody, especially not with the beautiful girl who's going to end up luring you into some kind of evil trap.
In the bayou.
And you assume it's going to be something, nefarious about like kidnapping or money or, all the things that Fred lists that are actually relatively tame, just Warner Brothers children's universe. It's not going to be like, we're going to kill you and we're going to capture you and torture you or something like that. But it actually ends up being exactly that dark. We're going to suck the life out of you so that we can continue to live for another year, I guess. It's like they're sucking them all dry so that every single year they can keep living,
that's the way it sounds to me.
That's a pretty bad ROI right there. 4 souls for the 2 of them, and Jacques
3.
is a part of them too.
Well, I don't actually think they need all 4. I think they only need 1 soul per person to last a year.
So whatever. And you think about all the number of sailors they drain, number of zombies they drain. I mean, I know they've been going after it for 400 or 200 years. So 200 years, 200, like at least 2 souls per person per year. So
you're talking hundreds of people, and then Jock comes sometime later, so then you increase it to 3. Yeah, you have a lot of people. And that's also actually like another thing why I like Zombie Island so much is they aren't trying to like rob someone else. They aren't trying to do anything else nefarious. No, they're trying to live, and the price is your death.
Mm-hmm. And you came there freely, technically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you came there freely to solve a mystery. There's a gardener that you have no idea. He's just a random character.
Undercover cop.
He's super grumpy until you find out that.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. He's just like, don't be so sure about that. I'm Detective Bo Neville. Been undercover investigating the island's
mysterious disappearances.
Not sure my superiors will believe this story either.
Yeah, how would they? Because the zombies are real. The evidence sank in the swamp.
And then the zombies themselves literally go away.
This is just early enough, or late 90s enough, so that there's no cell phone cameras yet. So not everyone has a camera all the time to document all this stuff. So it is really just take it on face value.
But the Mystery Machine has a computer so powerful enough that it has a library it has an internet. So it basically is just connecting to Stuxnet for fun.
Yeah, in 98 or
there's
when
really
did it come out?
98, yes, but I don't think it's meant to be 98. Think about the way Louisiana looks too. Like I'm thinking it's more closer to 70s Louisiana than
they didn't
1998.
necessarily like fast forward them to 1998. But the airport looked pretty normal and modern.
It's true.
The
airport looked modern.
But that's the thing about Scooby-Doo and a lot of good TV. It's sort of timeless, like Archer does a great job of this. We're getting a little far afield, but just because this is interesting, Archer does that too. Tell me when exactly Archer takes place during.
They've got a 50-year period.
They've got a ton of tech, and World War II definitely happened, and Germany definitely lost, but their technology is sometimes super modern, it's sometimes outdated, the internet, cell phones, and computers exist, and yet the cars they're driving look like they were brand new in 1962.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing that Scooby-Doo kind of does right now as well, and so does Archer, and a lot of good animation. It's just easier not to place it, it's more fun that way. But beyond all those things, I think the most fun part about it all is just learning that the zombies are real.
Shaggy, the zombies are the good
and that they are in fact the good guys. Like real zombies is like, okay, fine, they're real for the first time. That kind of annoys me. But it all is okay when you realize that they actually have like their own agency. They're able to get woken up and they're coming out and be like, no, we're trying to save you guys. And the only way we know how is to scare the shit out of you. Because what is more scary than people, like white people coming at you out of the swamp?
I beg your pardon.
I mean, well, all jokes aside, when Moonscar first gets reanimated right in front of Scooby and Shaggy, I would be crapping my britches to high hell if that happened to me too. Like, that is a terrifying. And it's not even just that. He also comes at them with a sword.
Or even before that, just the scraping of the message on the wall in the cabin or in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
That's so creepy. If I just watched that happening, I would... There's no obvious logical explanation for it. There's no one doing it. I can wave my hand in front of it and there's no one there. So that's freaking terrifying. So clue number one, this shit's actually real. And of course, I love that it all happens to Shaggy and Scooby in traditional Scooby-Doo fashion. They must be the ones to experience the terror first, and no one else believes them.
Yeah, exactly. It's so great. I mean, like, one of my favorite, this is also a little side up, like one of my favorite scenes in the OG show is in the Waxworks Museum when Fred is just like, yeah, this is how we'll catch the Wax Phantom, and Shaggy says like, I don't like this idea, and Fred's like, well, you have a better idea? He's like, oh yeah, sure. What? Look out over there. What do you see? The Waxworks. And then they suddenly just dip.
What? Have you got another plan? Yeah. Look out there and tell me what you see.
The Waxworks.
You know, it's just like it's those type of like, you know, just like funny moments. Like, so everything happens to Shaggy and Scooby first. No one believes them until they are finally believed, and then they're like, well, shit, now we have to fucking, you know, come to some like reality trip and how we're gonna figure out how to defeat the zombies. And
this time there's no like, you know, trap to be sprung or you know, plans to be laid.
It's luck.
It's luck.
I mean,
just
actually,
seat their pants and waiting.
Well, actually,
stalling tactics.
Well, that
being
too.
separated out actually worked.
Yeah, like
for them.
It's actually not luck. It's fucking there's a good word for it, but like dumbassery on the parts of Simone and
they're monologuing.
Like they even said like a waste of time and magic wax.
Yeah, to not make dolls.
Yeah, because Shaggy and Scooby are so inconsequential to them in their minds that they can just leave them running around and just sap the 3 or the 4 in front of them with Bo and just call it good. Like like in my mind, because like you don't really know, they're either going to, like, if everything had happened and, you know, Fred, Velma, Bo, and Daphne were drained, my guess is they're either going to keep Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on the island until next year, or they'll just let them go because they know no one will believe them and it doesn't matter.
And in fact, they might even be investigated for their friends' deaths because Daphne and Fred are actually well-known media personalities.
Yeah.
They're like the influencers before influencers happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they would be.
That's exactly what it is. That's a one bad thing about luring a television person to your island.
You're going to get investigated when they disappear. That is kind of dumb.
Like,
but she doesn't even know about that. That's right. Television isn't on her island. She doesn't watch TV.
But
that actually would be a huge downfall. That would have been such an interesting adult Scooby-Doo to make, where Daphne gets killed and Fred has to go find out why. And it turns out that the downfall of these people is because they killed the celebrity.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, Warner Brothers, you listening? I know you just got bought and sold for the 14th time, but if you're hiring, you know, I got ideas.
Yeah, you can remake the remake to return to Zombie Island.
The return to the return.
Yeah, the return to return.
And the returning.
And since we just mentioned Return to Zombie Island, let's just speak about that really quickly.
No, actually, we shall not, because what we shall do is talk about the music.
Better idea.
That movie, because that movie doesn't even bear mentioning. Don't watch it.
You're right.
Don't give it the time of day. It never happened.
Never
but the
listen.
music absolutely did happen, because that movie is full of fucking bangers.
Oh,
holy
yeah.
shit.
From the opening scene, with the moat monster to the first montage with, all the fake, like the vampire.
Oh, give me a break. It's fake.
Yeah. And the riverboat captain, just trying to scam out and stuff like that.
I love all the Louisiana music once they actually get down to the bayou. There's a ton of that sort of violin strings music.
I'm gonna try to put some of this music in, and hopefully it doesn't get clipped.
Another scary night, another spooky fright, and we just might be in danger. The ghost is here and it's always a fake. The ghost is here, there's no reason to shake. The ghost is here, give us a break, it's fake.
But then there's the actual chase music. So
You
one of the
hear
hallmarks of old
screeching
school.
of the owls.
Yeah. Old school Scooby-Doo oftentimes had chase scenes in it. At least
season 2 did.
There's a time period where they always had it.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yes.
You know, if you know anything about the ostriches, you know what we're talking about.
But it's grand. I'm in love with an ostrich. All the neighbors complain, and you see, but she loves me.
And so this movie here follows that same trope, and during the main chase scene in the middle of the movie, you've got this banger that hopefully you're hearing right now about narrating what they're doing, and it is so good. I wish we all had better voices we could sing it for you. Maybe he can, but maybe later.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if I'm feeling good, I'll splice something into that. Yeah, but it's great. You know, zombies on the prowl. It's also like Scooby and Shaggy are doing, like using alligators as stepping stones to get away from the zombies. And of course, the song ends with them falling into the tunnel and finding the wax dolls, and then playing with them, and then having like Fred start, or like Velma start beat Fred. It's funny actually. Only the women hit the men. The men never hit the women.
I'm sure that was just a coincidence.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just very coincidental.
Well, on that, guys, let us know what you thought about Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Also, tell us if you know who the voice actor for Snakebite Scruggs was.
Without looking it up.
Yes, without looking it up, you fools. We will know. And until next time, be well.
Sayonara.